Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Choosing You podcast, coming home to who you really are. And today, in the episode, we're going to talk about the toxic environment where you are never enough. To better understand how this is, let's say, happening and why we are even finding ourselves in a, let's say, toxic environment, I would like to think of a certain, let's say, case and from there evolve to all the different life perspectives and relationships that would come along our way, and where this is just follows us along the way without us even knowing how we have been shaped from the very, very early stage of our life, which is the childhood. Let's say you're growing up in an environment where you just, as long as you can remember back, what needed to please your parents, which means very performing day and night, having recognition really based on performance. So that can be really going, related to school, having good grades. Then there is the housework part where you're constantly helping and supporting at home. If there are any tasks, you're always running around and you're trying to understand whom you can help. It's about cleaning, it's about cooking, it's about everything related to that. And then there is always the behavior part where whenever you're interacting, let's say with your parents, you are constantly trying just to do your best because everything else is just not acceptable. Let's say always behaving, always, doing what they are, let's say, telling you to do. And because eventually you're a child and you're growing up and you will face situations where you just don't want to really do what people are telling you to do. So there will be situations where you really understand what it means if you don't behave. And in that, let's say, toxic environment, you just know when you're not behaving the way that certain people want you to behave, you're gonna be defined as a bad daughter. So there will be consequences, and they will try to point out what you're doing wrong and how you have to look and do and see a certain way, and that will be coming across all your age and growing up. And they will also be telling you, not just once but many, many times, how you have to behave. Not just at home, outside, in school, later at work. Maybe you're going to the university, how you're gonna, communicate with the others. And they will also tell you what life you should be seeking. So there will be no room for you in a way of what you want to do, what you maybe want to, achieve and thrive for, what you maybe want to study. They will totally tell you what is, let's say, the secure way of living. And this is the only acceptance. So they will actually tell you, but this is actually gonna be some kind of forced thing, because there will be a huge disappointment if you're not gonna go this way. And I think this is a huge thing that is really, let's say, in gender between women and men, between girls and boys growing up, because girls are just so obedient. They will just do it. They will not think about it twice. They will not question things, especially when the parents are telling them, because we think that our parents just know the best. So we are just following the rules. We do everything they tell us. We try to do everything. We're hustling from an early age, and we just think about the others because no one ever told us. So which means our parents, no one ever told us that we should sometimes think about ourselves, what we want, what our goals are, what we are, hobbies we want to do. There was no space for that. So come along, let's say years pass by, and you just kept doing what people told you to do. And you will understand with time that whatever you did, whatever tiny thing you have been doing, there will always something, let's say they want you to do more for having good grades. They will tell you, oh, you could do a little bit better, there's one question not answered, maybe you can try. Oh, you did everything, maybe you can do, if you're already done, maybe you can do more. Let's say about cleaning, you're already done, maybe you can help your siblings, they're more slower than you. This is all like never ending cycle where you just will always find yourself of, I'm not not enough, especially when you're not meeting the expectations that they have set for you. You will never be enough, but even if you're trying to do it, you're still not enough. So you're doing the best, what you can do, you're saying you're doing the best, but people will not recognize it as the best. They will tell you, you could do more. If this is your 100%, you can do 150. And if you don't know that there is another way of living, you will just accept this as your life. You will just bring this to all the other relationships, work, everything will be just guided by this, because you never ever learned that there's another way, that there's another way of you saying what you want, saying, doing what you want, even though you face consequences. If we think about this further, you're bringing this to work, right? So there can be situations at work, you're hardworking, you're always early, you're staying late, your boss seeing you running around, you're helping, others, someone is in need, even though it's maybe not even part of your job, you're trying to help people because this is just what you do, this is just what you learn to do. And then the boss will see that, obviously. He will see that, oh, she's so passionate about this job and I love that. And he will totally tell you, oh, you're such a hardworking person and I'm so happy that I hired you. And this will give you, this recognition that you have been looking for through your parents as well. So you try to do more. And then when you finish your tasks earlier, he will tell you, oh, listen, you have been doing that. You're already done. Let me give you more tasks. Let me get you contact with other departments. So there will be more and more. So your trying your best will not basically lead to just perfect, you're amazing. It will lead to, okay, let me put more. If she's doing more, like she's amazing, let me give her more. And you need to perform more and more and more. And again, this is not an act you're playing. This is just you want to be kind because you learn to behave. And by the end of the day, even though your boss is seeing you and recognizing you, but you never ever told your boundaries and you never ever told what you want and what you don't like and where you're just gonna say, hey, this is out of my capability, this is out of my skills, I'm not going to go for it anymore. So you always just said yes and you never said no. And you know what will happen on the other side of the door? Like, let's say you keep doing that and then a year passes by and you have your new salary negotiation. Do you think your boss will give you the raise? He will not. He will give you some raise, maybe definitely not what have been defined or talked with you in the beginning. And he will find excuses, the economy, or, we have so many people where we are increasing the salaries and we just have to keep a balance. So there will be a reason why you will not get what you want, even though you did the best and you actually did everything by the book to please, let's say, your boss, and it didn't work. Let's say even thinking about a more extreme situation where people are getting fired because of economical cutting and departments are getting changed and there are too many people that have been promoted, too many people for one position. He will eventually let you go. Even though you stayed there longer, you worked overtime, you came early, you didn't sleep well, you didn't see your family, you didn't see your friends, you didn't do any hobbies, he will let you go. And now let's try to bring this, let's say, to friendships. Exactly the same thing. You will be the friend who is constantly the first one to message, the first one to say, let's meet up, the first one who say, you don't know, you don't have any, where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to eat, let me take care of it. You're the one, taking care of the date, the time, the location. Maybe you did even the reservation at the restaurant because this is just what you're gonna do. You're doing everything with a kind heart, and what will come back to you, those people still can and will betray you. And those people will still gossip about you behind your back, even though you did nothing wrong to those people, to your friends, let's say to really close friends. They will gossip about you, they will still treat you in a bad way, and they can still, let's say, end the friendship suddenly out of whatever reason. They will not care about your feelings because they will only care about them. And then you're just wondering, why are they, let's say, selfish? I was just doing everything for them and for this friendship, and I was never thinking about myself in the first place. And as friendships, you will bring it to relationships. This whole chain is just a whole big chain that is never gonna end. This whole misery, this whole toxic environment will just keep going. You will have somebody that you wanna just, do the best you can. So you, again, on the other side, will get this confirmation of you're doing well, you're doing good. So what did you learn from your parents? You learned to perform the best you can. You're not letting someone lead something, it's just not in your vocabulary. That's just how you got wired, which means you're just doing everything. You might even approach the guy, whoever dude that is, you approached him. He was not even maybe interested, but you have been interested in him and you just did the first step and you since then arranged everything. You have been planning everything, the dates, the texts. Your texts are like 5 times longer than his text. You're constantly calling him because you have no life. You never learned how to have your own life. And then eventually, because people are just how they are, let's say this boyfriend, whoever he is, will not appreciate it like all the other previous people haven't. He will maybe start resent you. He will treat you in a very bad way. Maybe he will even cheat on you. And there will be lies. There will be everything because he kind of also, it's comfortable to be with you. You're taking care of everything. And maybe he doesn't want to leave you in the first place, but you're not the first choice either. So given all of that, and we are all normal human beings, we will all pass through all of those situations that I have just been talking about, from the childhood to the school, to the university, to the job, and different jobs we will have in our lives, to the friendships, to the relationships. We will all keep doing the same patterns. I wouldn't call it mistakes because we don't even know that we're doing something wrong. It's just about the fact that we are just doing our utmost best, our 100% every day. We don't know what it means, anxiety or like overwhelming, or let's say you're in flight or fight mode. You don't know that because you just always remember being like this. You don't think that this is something wrong, that you have to step back, that you have to calm down, sit down, and just for once not do anything, because your job on this world is not to always constantly please someone else. To get to the whole point, staying in those toxic relationships will never bring you to that point that you ever gonna be enough. You're never gonna be enough because we cannot control other people's thoughts, how they see us, how they treat us. You can try, but control is an illusion and you will never be able to control anybody. Let's say you can only act in the way you're acting in your purest, honest soul, but you cannot control the outcome. What you can control is when the outcome happened, how you react on that outcome, because it just happened and now we have to move on. And if you just think about it, sometimes it takes years. It takes years and years until we're coming to that realization and we have putting our energy into the wrong place. And we have been trying to chase people and relationships, friendships, whatever relations we talk about. The reality will be that you will be trying so hard for a very long time, especially those high-performing ladies who are just, that's what they know. They know I'm very strong in this and I got a lot of affirmation and confirmation before that, so I'm gonna keep going. Having this realization just not comes like someone told you. You will have to face a lot of very bad situation in life. People have to hurt you until you realize your worth somehow, that you're not gonna be treated like that. You're not accepting this anymore and you're stepping back. So you will rethink situations and you will rethink actions and you will understand that the energy you have put into other people needed to be put in yourself, and that making somebody proud, you give your best, that someone says I'm proud of you or you did your best and I see that and I acknowledge that, isn't something to give to other people, isn't something to outsource to random people, friends that maybe are not friends anymore, a boss that's maybe not your boss anymore, and a dude who's not interested in you maybe from the beginning. To be proud of you should be yourself, your younger self, the child that no one ever wanted to be friends with. And the somebody's you, that person needs to be proud of yourself. So when you're saying I did my 100%, I did the best that I could, you know you did the best that you could. And we didn't even know that we have been lost in the process of chasing and one relationship is over and you're immediately chasing another one because you have no worth elsewise. If you're not in a relationship and not someone is worshiping you, it's a hard realization, but in the end of the day you should be the somebody worshiping you at all times and having your back at all times. So I wouldn't say taking care of yourself, finally stepping back from other people's opinions and those toxic environments is a bad thing. You will feel very weird in the beginning because this is all you know, and you have your habits, right, that you have having for, let's say, whole life, and now you need to change, or you feel like you need to change, but the change is super hard. That doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean it feels strange, it feels weird, so I better not do it. It means you're finally reached that point, the last drop to make the water overflow. You cannot take it anymore. All those people treating you in a bad way. You need to step back from whatever toxic environment you see and you have identified. And you need to shift towards. It's not going to happen like overnight. I'm another person. It feels very strange for a long time. But every day, the small step that you do will add up to a one big step at the end of the day. And you will feel a difference. You never have been ridiculous to have dreams. However crazy and big they might have been, you are allowed to chase your dreams. And don't let anybody spoil your dreams for you, spoil your thoughts for you, spoil the excitement that you have, and never ever let anybody to make you feel stupid. Because we share that and we did that obviously to get all that approval, but to be very honest with you, most of the time when we share things, when we really want it just to be acknowledged and to hear, go for it, I support you, most of the time we haven't been supported. And so many dreams have been just, burnt down. As quick as they have evolved, they have been burnt down. And you have the choice to really say, I want to go for my dreams. You go, girl. You go. You can do whatever you want, whatever you want to be. You can be. Whatever dream you're chasing, you can chase that dream. So from one woman to the other, please never stop dreaming and never think that you're, ridiculous thinking a certain way, dreaming a certain way. You're the only support that you need. And I hope that is going to give you a little bit of motivation to just go for it. Whatever you're dreaming, you can just go for it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.